My name's Colonel Todd Key. I'm the Senior Advisor to the Deputy Minister of Strategy and Policy and the Minister of Interior. When I got to the Pentagon, I was going about your regular business, and I was planning to do travel the next day, and so as I was preparing the DTS paperwork and so forth, we'd heard that a plane had crashed into the first tower. All of us, obviously immediately went to go look for a TV so we could see what was going on. And as we watched, I think everyone pretty much realized that it was probably an act of terrorism. The building just shook. And as I'm sitting there, my desk had a window that looked to the D ring, which is the second ring in. And as I felt the building shake, I looked up and I saw a bunch of debris coming toward the window. And you know that things just aren't right. I mean, the first thought that came to my mind was that there was a bomb had blown up outside the Pentagon or inside the Pentagon. Once I got out and I got up on top where I could see things, I saw this huge plume of smoke coming out of the Pentagon. And I realized that was the path that was right by the road where my wife would drive by. And then I got that real, that feeling that something had happened to her, because the timing was right. And so that dynamic changed. And my dynamic was now, this isn't about me and about people in the military, it's about now my wife and my family. And that was different. Somebody came riding their bicycle by saying, another plane is coming, another plane is coming. And that was the plane that ultimately crashed in Pennsylvania. As I turned around to hear that person yelling, another plane was coming, you hear this loud rumbling. And that's when the wall of the Pentagon collapsed. As you see that, it's sort of, you're not really sure what to make of it. I mean, I think your world is changing right in front of you. I finally got up to Fort Myer, and I got to a phone where my wife should have been working, and that really concerned me because she wasn't there. And so I said, "Has anybody seen my wife, Kelly?" And they said, "Yes." Kelly went down to the Army Community Center to help stand up the emergency response cell that they do. And here's her number. So I was able, because cell phones weren't working, I was able to pick up the phone and call her. Found out that she was okay, and I was greatly relieved. As we exchanged, greetings again in love, just to know that she's alive, I asked her what had happened, what did she know? And she said, a plane hit the Pentagon. And I said, I don't, how does a plane hit the Pentagon? It's not. She said, well, I saw the plane. And I said, what are you talking about? She said, I saw the plane. The plane flew over Fort Myer, very, very low and very, very fast. I got a hold of one of the guys that was driving a front-end loader. And I said, can you take me back down to the Pentagon? He said, sure. I said, do you know what happened? He said, yeah. I said, well, what do you know? He says, they fell down. And I said, what do you mean? He said, the buildings, they fell down. And I said, well, you talking about the World Trade Center? He goes, yeah, they both fell down. First order of business was to gain accountability. And as I began gaining accountability, there were two people that were missing out of the G3. And one of them wasn't Pat Tennis. It was the secretary and the XO to the person that I was reporting accountability to. So, you're telling him that the two people that work directly for you are dead. Pat Tennis shows up about an hour later, and he, like me, we smelled the smoke, and we smelled, just like, Pat, so, where were you? What, you tried to take the day off or something? And he's, no, Todd, I was out helping get people evacuated. And his actions that day earned him the Soldier's Medal for bravery. and risking his life to save others, and he's a great American. I don't think I would have known the Afghans had it not been for 9/11. That might sound a little strange, but these are good people. They weren't 9/11. Al-Qaeda and the Taliban were 9/11. These people were taken advantage of because of 30 years of war and devastation of their education system and in their economy. I would have not met these wonderful people had it not been for 9/11. It sounds a little macabre, but at the same time, out of that tragedy, there are some amazing friendships that have been made over here that would have never been made because of that. That price is too high to pay, but at the same time, that price was paid, so I think making the most of this opportunity is important.